Hello guys, Dan here from Dan's Tech, and in today's video guys we're going to be having a look at a CPU cooler from Arctic. This is the Freezer i32. I meaning this is supported for Intel CPUs, and they do also sell an A32 I believe, that's for all the AMD CPUs. So yeah, this is kind of an entry level cooler, something kind of equivalent to say a Hyper 212 Evo, just coming at a relatively low price point. However, one thing that is pretty good with this cooler, and one thing that I do think stands out, is that it is a semi-passive cooler, and the fan will stop spinning when you are doing office work, web browsing, and video, and then just as it says on the back here, the active cooling kicks in when you're doing light gaming and also hardcore gaming. Whatever hardcore gaming is, I have no idea. But yeah, we're gonna be have a look at this cooler. We're gonna go over the installation and see what the performance is like on my i7-4790K at the good old 4 GHz. There we are. Anyway, let's kind of jump into the video and let me guys tell you what this cooler is like. To get started, as always, inside the box you have the aluminium cooler itself and one of Arctic's own F12 120mm fans. Inside also we find two bags. The first one does contain two metal Intel socket mounting pieces as well as four metal brackets to attach up to two fans to the cooler. Now these also look like they will support any fans with standard mounting holes, so not just Arctic's own fans. In addition to this, the second bag does also include what looks to be all the other mounting hardware like screws and rubber washers. Also included is a plastic backplate and also Arctic's own renowned MX4 thermal compound. Unfortunately, it's in a small sachet and not a syringe. However, this will do, and yeah, it is nice for them to include the MX4. And lastly, you get an instruction manual and also a little warning leaflet to say that the fan will not spin at lower loads. If you don't know that by now, then you must be something wrong, as this is the main selling point of the cooler. Onto the specifications of the cooler, the dimensions are 150mm in height, 123mm in width, and 95mm in depth, while the fan is attached. Now the overall weight of the cooler with the fan attached is surprisingly light at 641 grams, not the largest cooler in the world. Arctic have designed this cooler to be somewhat affordable, therefore have gone with a single tower cooler design, with the cooler having 49 aluminium fins and 4 copper heat pipes spread out in the fin stack. Now the spacing of the fins are on the stack indicate that the cooler is designed to work well with lower spinning fans. As for specs on the fan's features a fluid dynamic bearing with RPM ranges going from 0 to 1350 RPM. Onto installation of the cooler. Overall, it's very easy, and I'm forever impressed with Arctic's ways when it comes to designing how a cooler installs onto a system. Installation begins with screwing down the two Intel mounting brackets onto the underneath of the cooler with the included four 6mm M3 screws. Once you've done this, you'll then want to position the plastic backplate behind the motherboard and flip it around. Once you've done this, you can then place the cooler onto the CPU after installing the thermal compound and screwing it in place with the larger 20mm M3 screws. Now installation overall is rather simple, and if anything is fantastic news for first time builders that want to be able to install a cooler better than a stock cooler, and yeah, just without the hassle of installation. Now on to performance. Many people like to run Prime95 to test the performance of CPU coolers. However, following feedback, I do want to simulate a typical load without running synthetic benchmarks. For complexity and to generate the most heat possible, I'm always going to run from now on a render test based on the 2016 How to Build a PC guide. So this will be me rendering the video in Adobe Premiere Pro. This video render will simulate a typical high gaming load, as the video does contain many advanced effects. So onto the performance numbers, and comparing this cooler with another cooler in this size range and also another one of Arctic's coolers that they sent over in the past, the Extreme Revision 2. The Freezer i32 achieved 33 degrees maximum in the render test on my i7-4790K, so it did surprisingly well considering its small size and the fact that when the fan did get spinning, it was relatively quiet and didn't actually spin that fast. Now the cooler does stay relatively quiet during operation, as it is definitely nothing to sneeze at. The fan included is pretty damn good, and just saying, during the render you'll find that the fan will turn on enough straight away, which is always reassuring when video rendering or even gaming. Now let's kind of get on to the conclusion and conclude on this cooler from Arctic. So guys, that was my review on the Freezer i32. To be honest, this cooler is pretty damn good. The build quality is solid, and you know, the 4 copper heat pipes there and all the aluminium fins, you know, combined with the fan, it is just a solid product. I do think it is, you know, it has been built well, performance is great, and I am very happy with it, to be honest. The semi-passive feature of this cooler is pretty damn good. It does work on my motherboard. Not too sure how this will work on, say, older motherboards, but it is a very good cooler, does perform well, and you know, because the price is relatively low, I would definitely recommend it. This cooler, I haven't checked, but I do think this is considerably smaller in height compared to a Hyper 212 Evo. So I think if you are wanting to get a CPU cooler and you don't typically have a very large case, you know, in terms of the thickness of your case, I think you can get this in almost any case, so that's brilliant as well. And yeah, overall, a very nice cooler. Because it's a lower price point, I would definitely recommend it. You are getting a lot of performance here for your money, and installation as well is not bad. Yeah. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and also subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Hello guys, Dan here from Dan's Tech. Welcome to another video. Today guys, we're going to be having a look at a CPU cooler. What was that? I have no idea.